Legendary in the hi-fi world. It's been pretty hard to argue with the Technics SL-1200 series over the years, but with the new SL-1210GR2 coming in £200 more expensive than its predecessor, is it worth the upgrade? Let's find out. Hey guys, Louis here from Smart Home Sounds, and if you're feeling a little bit confused, then this video is for you. Now, the SL-1210GR2 is the latest addition to the iconic Technics SL-1200 range that's stretched back for over 5 decades now. Built as the successor to the 1200GR and claiming a huge leap in performance over its predecessor, it's really no surprise that there's a lot of hype surrounding this new second iteration. Now, that being said, boasting a near identical build, similar feature list, and an increased RRP of £1,799, I know what you guys are thinking. What's actually changed? Well, at first glance, you'd be forgiven for thinking not much, and trust me, I did too, but don't be fooled by their similar exterior. Technics has wisely prioritised the majority of their improvements where they count most, the internal components. And as far as the design goes, it's the age-old saying of, if it ain't broke, then don't fix it. Now, we've still got the same classic direct drive system, as well as the iconic DJ-inspired aesthetic that Technics is famous for. These features are what made the original SL-1200 a classic, and naturally, they're still a major draw for both audiophiles and DJs today. In terms of colour options, the SL-1200GR2 keeps things classic with silver, but there's also a black version, the SL-1210GR2. Yes, despite the different names, these are the exact same turntable, just 2 different colour variations. In terms of build, both the SL-1200GR2 and 1210GR2 both feature the same 2-layered bottom chassis, 2-layered platter, and high sensitivity tone arm as the original, all made of aluminium. The only difference is the new colour matched inserts on the controls, as well as the anti-skate and some more branding in certain places, adding a little bit more visual consistency and a more sleek and premium finish. Functionally, things remain pretty similar too. You'll still find the familiar pitch control, cue-in light, start-stop button, and separate buttons for 33 and 45 RPM playback, and pressing both together will still let you play 78 RPM records. The tone arm and platter remain unchanged from the previous model as well. Plus, the GR2 also carries on the tradition of not including a cartridge in the box. Now, I've been seeing this turntable get marked down for that in a couple of reviews, but for me, I like the extra control that it gives you over playback customization. It's just something to bear in mind if you're new to the whole hi-fi world. The only other real external difference between the two of these is that the GR2 now comes with a head shell spacer in the box. Now, the team at Technics must have been reading the forums, because I know a couple of people with the older GR model had to get a bit creative to fit certain low-profile cartridges, but this spacer solves that problem and ensures that your vertical tracking is going to be correct regardless of what cartridge you're going to be using. So another nice little enhancement there. Now, if I'm nitpicking, which to be fair, we've got to do with a turntable in this price bracket, then the only real problem not addressed is the annoying layout of the power cord and RCA outputs. It's the same for both models, so I can live with it, but they're just a little bit fiddly for my liking. All in all though, no wholesale changes externally, just a nice set of tweaks to polish what was already a great design in my book. Right, so on to the important bit then, internals. And why is this turntable £200 more expensive than the last one? Well, unlike the route that a lot of brands go down when making second-gen products, instead of making external upgrades like enhancing the isolation feat or adding a better tone arm, for example, Technics have invested heavily on the internal workings of their deck. Because of the way turntables are built, often the mechanical components inside cause vibrations or noise, and even tiny vibrations inside any deck can really mess with the overall sound quality. So Technics have dedicated a significant amount of R&D into eliminating these internal micro vibrations and noise to deliver an improvement in sound performance. So by tackling the issue at its source, while the original GR was good, it wasn't perfect, and the GR2 should theoretically deliver a much bigger jump towards cleaner, more detailed sound performance than any external addition could offer. But how have they done it? Well, firstly, they looked at the internal power supply. Now, We don't tend to dive into the nitty-gritty and technical jargon on this channel, so I am oversimplifying here. But just like any high-performance device, a turntable needs a robust power supply to function at its best. Think of a runner's muscles needing a good blood flow to perform effectively. A better heart rate equals better performance. The GR2 now boasts a new multi-stage high-speed power supply. This translates to cleaner, more consistent power delivery for the turntable's internal components. Unfortunately, this isn't always quiet or quiet enough by hi-fi standards. So on top of that, Technics have also added noise cancellation technology that works similarly to what you might find in high-end headphones. This clever system is actually borrowed from their reference SL-1210GR turntable, and if you know, you know, and if you don't, then that's their top-of-the-range 19K turntable. And this basically identifies and cancels out any unwanted electrical noise within the power supply, ensuring the purest possible power reaches the turntable's core with no noise alongside it. Technics have also made some significant improvements to their direct drive system by adding what they call Delta Sigma drive. Now, for those not 100% certain, the drive system is what turns your records. Now, if executed badly, you can often find small micro vibrations that come through the platter, which means that your playback will suffer as a result. What Technics have done is applied technology from their high-end Geno engine to the turntable's motor. Now, I could sit here and overload you with technical terms like pulse width modulation and things like that, but that's not what we're here to do. So if you are interested, I'll link the press release below and you guys can read a proper engineer's explanation. Essentially, all you need to know is that this new model uses clever electrical controls to precisely manage the flow of electricity to the motor, which helps to spin it better and eliminate any tiny vibrations that can mess with the platter and therefore the sound quality. Along with that, the GR2 has also ditched the twin rotor system, instead opting for a single rotor design to eliminate what's known as cogging. And this is basically a problem where the turntable platter might spin in a slightly jerky or uneven way, causing the audio to waver slightly while you're listening to it. So by combining that more advanced motor with the Delta Sigma drive technology, what you're left with is a turntable that essentially smooths out the power delivery to the platter, minimizing the fluctuations in speed and ensuring a more consistent and accurate performance across the board. Okay, that's enough tech and specs for one video, but how do they actually compare when it comes to sound? Well, from testing, I've noticed a real step up. It's a more spacious sound and a really enjoyable listen. It's clear that they've made some definite progress with the changes that they've made, and as a big fan of the original GR and the SL-1200 series as a whole, that's saying something. Plus, I'm glad that they've not moved away from the elements that made the original so good, but have rather added the extra enhancements where they can. When you consider that a high quality pair of isolation feeds or a sturdy stand can easily cost you more than £200 combined, I don't think adding those to the original GR would give you the same boost in performance as you get with the built-in improvements of the GR2. So I would say that those extra changes are definitely worth the extra step up in price. It's not going to be the right option for everyone, and if you've already got the GR, then I don't think you need to upgrade, and there will be those of you out there who don't need this level of performance, to which I'd happily point you in the direction of the SL-1500C if you want to stick in the Technics range. But hopefully that's helped clear up the key changes with the GR2 and helped you have a better idea of whether this is the right turntable for you. But what do you guys think? If you'd like a more in-depth review, then make sure you let us know down in the comments below. Otherwise, I'll catch you all in the next one.